Hello students, this is the second part of the chapter When People Revolt 1857 and After. We have already covered the initial phase of the resistance or the revolt in the first part. So if you haven't watched it, please do watch it. Now we have already covered it till here, voices from the time. Now we are going to see this subtopic, which is the mutiny turns into a popular uprising. How the mutiny turns into the popular uprising of 1857 and a big revolt. The revolt began in May 1857 in Meerut. Sepoys refused the army drill using new cartridges, which were suspected to contain cow or pig fat. As we have seen earlier, that there was a rumor that the cartridges are made of cow or pig fat, which was against the religion of Hindu as well as Muslims, so their religious sentiments were hurt. After harsh punishments, other soldiers rebelled, released jailed sepoys, attacked officers, and set buildings on fire. So all the sepoys, Indian soldiers, acted against the Britishers, and they set the Britishers' buildings on fire and attacked the officers and released the jailed sepoys. Rebels declared the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar as their leader. They hoped the return of Mughal rule would restore smaller rulers' rights, giving hope and courage to many. So, what did rebels do? Rebels declared Mughal Emperor, who was Bahadur Shah Zafar in Delhi, as their leader of the resistance. And they hoped that the return of Mughal Empire would restore their rights too. And they gave it gives the hope to and courage, of course, to the sepoys. Rebellion spread quickly to cities and villages of North India such as Delhi, Kanpur, Lucknow, Jhansi and others. Local leaders like Nana Sahib Begum, Hazrat Mahal, Rani Lakshmi Bai, Tatya Topel, Rani Avanti Bai Lodhi, Kuwar Singh organized resistance and joined the rebels. So all these leaders from different states such as Delhi, Kanpur, Lucknow, Jhansi, etc., they joined hands together and they created a organized big resistance against the Britishers, and they joined the hands with rebels. The British outnumbered, lost many battles early on. People saw this as a sign that the British rule was collapsing, encouraged more uprisings, especially in Awadh. So initially, as the Britishers were outnumbered by these leaders and the soldiers, Indian soldiers, they lost many battles early on, Britishers especially. People saw this as a sign that British rule was collapsing and we should encourage more uprising like this. New leaders such as Ahmadullah Shah, a Maulvi from Faizabad, Bakht Khan, soldier from Bareilly, and Kunwar Singh joined the fight against the British, rallying large forces. So all these leaders came up in front and they joined hands with the sepoys. The British response and suppression. So initially they were outnumbered, but eventually what did Britishers do is that the Britishers brought reinforcements from England and passed new laws to quickly convict rebels. Delhi was recaptured in September 1857, leading to the trial and the imprisonment of Bahadur Shah Zafar in Rangoon, where he died in 1862. So Britishers brought reinforcement, more soldiers from the England, and they suppressed the revolt and they passed new laws to quickly convict all the rebels. Delhi was also recaptured in September 1857, and which led to the imprisonment of Bahadur Shah Zafar as he was considered the leader of the sepoys in Rangoon, and he died at last in 1862. The revolt continued for 2 more years with persistent fighting in places like Lucknow. Rani Lakshmibai was killed in June 1858. Rani Avantibai died after initial victories, even though they both fought very bravely. And Tatya Tope continued guerrilla warfare, small, tactics to tackle the Britishers until his capture and execution in 1859. So he was also executed by Britishers. The British rewarded loyal landowners, said rebels submitting to the British authority would retain their rights, but hundreds of rebel leaders were executed. So Britishers also rewarded the loyal landowners who were in favor of the Britishers and against the rebellions. And the Britishers said that the rebels who will submit to the British authority without killing any British would retain their rights back. And but hundreds of rebel leaders were executed. Now let's see the aftermath and reform. The British Parliament passed a new act in 1858 transferring power from East India Company to the British Crown. As the East India Company failed to suppress the revolt, the British Crown took the responsibility and the power was transferred from East India Company to the British Crown directly, who were sitting in their countries. For more direct rule, India's administration was handled by the Secretary of State aided by the India Council. The Governor General became Viceroy. directly representing the crown. So as before 1857, Governor General used to be the leader who used to see the administration process, but later on this position was replaced with the Viceroy position, and the Viceroy took all the decision according to the British crown. Ruling chiefs were promised their kingdoms wouldn't be annexed further and could be passed to their heirs, including adopted sons. But they had to recognize the British Queen as supreme. Indian rulers were now subordinates to the crown. So, after 1857 revolt, the new laws or the new acts were introduced by the Britishers, and they announced that you have to recognize the British Queen as supreme. So, the power was transferred from British East India Company to the British Crown. Now, the Britishers changed army recruitment too. More Europeans were involved and fewer Indians from Awadh, Bihar, etc. Instead, Gurkhas, Sikhs, Pathans were recruited to prevent future revolt. Now they recognize that sepoys might act against them at any time, so they started recruiting European soldiers and Gurkhas, Sikhs, Pathans instead of soldiers from Awadh and Bihar. Massive confiscation of Muslim land property occurred as the British believed Muslim led the rebellion. So, Britishers acted against the Muslims as they believed that the Muslims were the leaders of this revolt and they led this revolt. British said they would respect Indian religions and social practices and aimed to protect zamindars, landowners' rights over land. These changes marked the beginning of a new phase of British rule after 1857. So, was this 1857 revolt a failure or not? That is a debate, but according to many historians, this acted as a dress rehearsal for later movements or later changes, because now Indians recognized their power and they recognized that we should unite together to act against the Britishers. That's why the national struggle also took place later on. Yeah, so this was all about this chapter. I hope you liked it. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. You can comment down your doubts below. We'll meet in the next video soon. Till then, take care and bye bye.